Hi there and welcome to my tutorial on how to play Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. I'm going to start off by teaching you the chord intro to the song, and then in the next video we'll look at the little solo that David does over that chord progression. And then hopefully in future videos I'm going to look at the solos at the beginning of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which are amazing examples of how to be a badass guitar player. So look forward to that. But for now, this is Wish You Were Here. So there's 3 different chords you need for this intro section, and like 4 different little riffs that lead into each of those chords. So every time you play one of those chords, there's a little riff that leads into those chords, yeah. And then there's a couple of different strumming patterns, which I've simplified down to 2 that we can use throughout this thing. It's kind of tricky if we want to do exactly what Dave did, because he's playing some different stuff all over the place. So if you really want to learn what Dave did, I recommend you go and listen to what Dave actually did and just copy that. But I've just, like I say, simplified it down to 2 things for the sake of time. Otherwise we'll be here forever. Time, it's a Pink Floyd joke. Okay, so 3 chords, right? We've got our stock standard G, which is our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, second finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, G. And then the next chord, which is pretty much exactly the same, is an E minor 7. You're moving your 2nd finger from that 3rd fret on the 6th string down to the 2nd fret on the 4th string, E minor 7. And the last chord is an A7 sus4. Now you're going to move your first 2 fingers, 1st and 2nd finger, down a string each. Yeah, they're going to go from your first finger from the 2nd fret on the 5th string down to the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and your 2nd finger going from the 2nd fret on the 4th string down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. A7 sus4. And you'll notice that these 2 fingers, the 3rd and the 4th finger, stay there the whole time. They don't move at all, even when you're doing the riff. So just keep them there. So that's one of the tricky parts, is I suppose keeping those there and only using your 1st and 2nd finger. We have crossed our first obstacle. Yeah, cool. So those are the 3 chords you need to kind of get down. So if you can play through those a bunch of times just to kind of get the transition between them. 3 chords. And now the little riffs that lead into each of those. So the first riff, the E minor riff, I'll call it, starts with your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and you're going to hammer on to the 2nd fret from the open string on the 5th, the open 5th string, 2nd fret, and then open 4th string, 2nd fret 4th string, and then you're going to play your E minor chord. And then, so just for now, I'll just strum those chords nicely like that. And then the G riff is going to be your 2nd fret on the 4th string. That's where it was for that E minor chord, and then open on the 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, off on the 4th string, G, and then strum the G. And then you're going to do the E minor riff again, and then the G riff again, G. Now we change, instead of playing the G, we're going to play that A7 sus4 here. So we need to have a little riff for that A7 sus4, which is, instead of going up to the G, we're going down to that A. Yeah, so we're going 2nd fret, we'll read here, 2nd fret on the 4th string, open 4th string, 2nd fret 5th string, open 5th string, and then A, and then back to the E minor, A, and then one last little riff to bring us back into that G. Hammer onto the 2nd fret of the 5th string, off on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 6th string, G. Alright, did you catch all that? Let me go through them one last time, yeah? So the E riff, the E minor 7 riff is that 3rd fret on the 6th string, hammer on to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, 4th string open, 2nd fret on the 4th string, E minor, and then 2nd fret 4th string, open 3rd string, 2nd fret 4th string, open 4th string, and then repeat that. So that's the G riff, and then repeat that again for the E minor riff, and then G riff again. Now we're going to replace the G with an A, yeah? E minor, sorry. And then we're going to do the A riff, which is going down instead. 2nd fret, 4th string, open 4th string, 2nd fret, 5th string, off, open 5th string. And then repeat the E minor riff. Without that G at the beginning. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. When you're doing it from the A, and then back down. A, 7, sus. And then the last little riff that leads us back to the G, hammer on to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, off on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 6th string. Now for all those riffs, I'm playing down the whole time with my pick and hand. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down for all of those, yeah? Now the strumming, okay, so those are the riffs and the little chords that we have to do. So for the first bit, it's E minor, G, and then for the second bit, it's E minor, A7, back to G. So you need to, the second obstacle, the second hurdle you must overcome is, young grasshopper, is switching between those two things, doing the riff and then strumming, and the riff and then strumming. So the strumming we're going to do is down, up, up. Yeah, so you're playing 1 E and A2 E and down, up, up. And you'll notice my hand is doing this the whole time. Down, up, down, up, down, up. As if they were playing semiquavers, as if I was playing Wonderwall. Or whatever the hell it is. But we're not playing Wonderwall. So as if I was strumming 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. But even when I'm not playing those strings, because it's way more chilled out than that. We're only playing you're only strumming a couple of times, but yeah, my hand is still doing this to keep that real strong time, yeah? So you notice my hand still goes down, up, up, down, up, up. So that's a good thing to practice, is to continually strum and then just only hit the strings when you actually want to, yeah? Down, up, up, 1 E and A2 E and a 1 E and A2 E and a 1 E and A2 E and a 1. So that's the first strum that we want to get. And the second one is a little more tricky. It comes on the A of the beat, 1 E and A, 2 E and 3 E. 3 E. So 1 E and A2, 1 E and A2 E and A3 E. So ba 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 da 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 za da 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 da. So it only kind of happens. I'm only going to say, put my foot down here, son. Okay, we're only playing that one when we do the A. Za da 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 da. 1 E and A2 E and A3 E and 3. Woo, it's hard to count at the same time. You'd think I'd be able to, but yeah. Da da da. 1 E and A2 E and A3 E and yeah. Za da 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 da. You'll be able to see it as well. I'm going to put a little visual there. You'll obviously be able to see it. It's a lot easier than me explaining it with random syllables. But so that's the second one, and we only do it with the A. Da 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 da. I was about to do it with the E, wasn't I? So bum bum bum. Da 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 da. And then we kind of just do our own thing with the G at the end there. Just be creative. Just, you just do you, man. man, just do you for that G at the end there. Like I said, if you really want to do exactly what Dave's done, and I would recommend going and listening and checking out what Dave actually plays there, but I think it's far more simple for us to just do those. Okay, so those are the two strums we're going to do. We've got the one for the E minor and the G, and then the other one for the A there, yeah? And the tricky part, I suppose, the next hurdle, like I said, is transitioning from riff to strum, yeah? So being able to play the riff and then strum. You'll notice with my picking hand over here, it kind of changes from picking mode to strumming mode in between, you know. And so my picking mode, kind of got this bad habit of putting my fingers on the. I say it's a bad habit. I was told it was a bad habit by a teacher in high school, and I suppose I'm an adult now. I can do it my own damn way. Screw you, high school music teacher. Anyway, so that would be my picking mode, and then when I go to strumming mode, I'm kind of, free-floating arm kind of deal. Getting that transition between those two is probably going to be the tricky thing. Because, obviously, your picking is a lot more kind of, I don't want to say accurate, but like you're very focused on one specific part of the guitar, namely that one string. And then when you're strumming, you're kind of just doing the whole thing, right? So getting that transition and not having it so that when you're doing the riff, that you've got a whole bunch of other strings going, so it's you're isolating those specific notes so that they're not, so it's not this big muddy mess of things, which can be even more of a problem more of a problem if you're playing it on like an electric guitar with a lot of gain and stuff. On this, it kind of chills out a lot. But what I'm getting at is you've got to have a decent amount of control. So really focus on controlling those strings and only having the riff happen rather than the rest of the things happen. So you're not, so it's not that kind of deal, that's because that's not how the song goes. So yeah, those would be the elements that you need to get down, and then kind of cramming them all together. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Learn those riffs, learn how to move them into those strums, and have those 3 different chords there, yeah? I hope that was helpful. Tune in for the next video where we'll do that little solo, yeah? The little solo that Dave does, and I won't screw it up like I did just then. Yeah, I'll see you again very soon. Practice lots. That's a crappy sign off, isn't it? Do lots of practice, son, and maybe you'll be a real musician one day.
Hi friends, thanks for watching. I hope that you learned heaps from this lesson today. If you have any requests for songs that you'd like to learn, please just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try and tee up a lesson for that song. And remember, if you liked the video, go ahead and like and subscribe for further lessons in the future. And if liking and subscribing just aren't enough to express how much you love me, you could always head over to my Patreon account and become one of my patrons and get super awesome rewards for doing so. And you'd even get a shout out at the end of one of my stupid llama videos. What more could anyone want? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.